how can ask that? How is the way that you find the best, like the strategies that you use to attract international
Mhm.
talents to apply for jobs in Ireland and apply for a new position here?
And I think I learned a lot from Cayman for that because we had to actually like there was a huge amount of it wasn't known as a technology hub. So there
Mm-hmm.
was a huge amount required in terms of actually getting candidates interested in Cayman and bringing people over. And like
Mm-hmm.
a large proportion of that would be actually getting the name out there as Dublin is known already as a tech hub,
Mm-hmm.
but certainly, there would be some kind of preconceptions, I suppose, in the market there among certain candidates from certain countries that maybe it's very expensive or that it's difficult to get over, different things like that, where the needs are within IT
Mm-hmm.
and, kind of getting that across to candidates. So like a large proportion for us would be actually reaching out to candidates, like headhunting candidates from different jurisdictions, letting them know what the process is like, just kind of being very upfront with people
Mm-hmm.
and letting them know, what's involved in actually making a move. So that is a big.
The following is a conversation between me and Claire Murray. Claire is a senior recruiter for Morgan Mckinley and giving us a lot of insights today. This is Ways of Working podcast. Check out Higher Brain, our partner on the discussion, where you can improve your CV and make your more visible for other companies. Wanted to do that. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so thank you, Claire, for taking this call and give your time to us to get your 2 cents over what we wanted to discuss today. So let's
Yeah.
start then talking about yourself, what you do, and what's your role at the company that you work for.
For sure, yes. And thank you so much for having me as well. I'm very excited to be involved on the podcast today.
Cheers.
So, yeah, I'm a senior technology recruiter here at Morgan Mckinley in
Mm-hmm.
Dublin. I've only recently joined actually. So, I have 7 years of technology recruitment experience.
All right.
I started my career in the Java recruitment space in
Mm-hmm.
Dublin. Did that for 2.5 years and then made the move across the sunnier climates, went over to the Cayman Islands for 4 years and
Oh.
now I am back in Dublin recruiting for software engineers. So full cycle.
All right. So, well, how was your move to Cayman Islands then? Like, you worked there,
Yeah.
right? You didn't, you worked
Yes.
from there. Okay, so like,
Yes, I did
how
indeed.
was like your day-to-day work there? It was different from Dublin, or like
Yeah.
it was warmer. What is
Yeah.
that? What
Definitely
is
warmer.
yeah? So, what do you see as the main difference between Cayman Islands and Dublin?
Yes, well, other than the weather, there's
Mm.
definitely lots of differences
All right.
there, especially for a technology professional there and for
Okay.
recruitment in Cayman.
All right.
So Cayman has a big financial services and legal industry, but
Oh, okay.
technology isn't necessarily the forefront. So it's not so many software product companies or
Mm.
anything like that you would have in Dublin. So it was a slightly different recruitment experience, a lot more kind of corporate organizations and things like that. But yeah, it was an amazing place to live and work for a few years. Like it's very different to living in Dublin for sure.
All right. And so how long you lived there? Sorry.
So I actually worked from Cayman for 4 years,
4 years.
and then so yeah, I was back and forth for some of that, and then some of the
Mm-hmm.
time I was
Mm-hmm.
based out there as well. So didn't exactly get a tan now, but with the red hair, I was never getting that.
Yeah. And Cayman Islands is it's part of England. It's part of the UK.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
British overseas territory. Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
But all the immigration rules and like for working out there, they have all of their own separate processes. So
Okay.
even though it is a British overseas territory,
I
everything is kind
see.
of standalone. Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
And for on your perspective, you being Irish, I know you can live and work in UK because of the
Mhm.
Good Friday Agreement, right?
Yeah.
And there's
Yes.
the same thing for Cayman Islands, the same rules.
So it's a little bit different. So
Mm.
you need a work permit to work in Cayman. So
Even for the
basically,
Irish person, if Irish.
Irish, English
All
for
right.
everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
even for
yeah.
English. Okay.
Yeah, for everybody. So a lot of people are surprised by that. But it's actually easier than would be maybe in Ireland to get a
Mm-hmm.
work permit. So
Mm-hmm.
once you have the skill set and you have the qualifications there,
Mm-hmm.
and once you have a job offer, so you need to have a job in order to get a work permit to work
I see.
there. So yeah, and then it's easy enough to make the move across, and companies will support that as well. So it kind of depends on the industry, but for example, for software engineers, there is a demand on the island for software engineers, so they would be happy to sponsor. Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, it's cool to see like
Yeah.
a fellow Irish person, because I'm Irish now.
Yeah.
To have
Congratulations.
yeah,
Yeah.
I still look at myself as Brazilian yet. So like I don't see myself in
Almost got the accent.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see this perspective over like to go overseas and you
Yeah.
need like visa and stuff, and give you more perspective as being a full foreigner, because
Mhm.
when you have like if you are citizen of a country that is within the European Union, when you go
Yeah.
to another EU country, it's like, okay, there's just different culture, but
Yeah.
you don't have much of the struggles of a foreigner. You have like all of this
Definitely.
easy
Yeah.
path to go there. So
Mhm.
and yeah, so for you, like when you came there, you start working there.
Yeah.
So you feel like the culture was different from the like the UK, or like
Yeah.
the day-to-day life was different? How do you feel like
Yeah.
this cultural difference from between like
Yeah.
UK and Cayman Islands?
Yeah, for sure. And I think like no matter where you go in the world,
Yes.
any different country, there's always going to be cultural differences.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely something that I had to get used to, even from a recruitment
All
perspective,
right.
because we were speaking with people from all over the world. So it wasn't necessarily even people on island. Like, there's a lot of different cultures that you get familiar with dealing with. But yeah, there was definitely like a Caribbean culture there, which is really nice and chilled and
Oh
relaxed.
yeah.
Like it was really, really cool. Lots of soca music and things like that. So it was very different culturally. But even from a recruitment perspective, very much the kind of people that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, your people coming and speaking with people from all walks of life, which is really interesting. And it was really nice to get that exposure. But it definitely, you do need to be kind of more aware of the different cultural nuances, I suppose, when dealing with those kind of candidates and dealing with people from different jurisdictions. So it definitely, I think, taught me a lot actually working with different cultures. Like
Yeah.
you really do get familiar with it. And I think it's definitely something even in Ireland now, because there's so many different cultures there. It's
Yes,
great to
yes.
have experience like within tech, like dealing with different people from different places in the
Yeah.
world.
It is, yeah. Dublin becomes such a massive cultural it's a
A melting pot.
yeah, it's become a melting
Yeah.
pot, a cultural hub, I think. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
It's lovely
very
to see.
it's lovely to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, so there's like talking about like this culture and everything. Do you feel do you see how can I say, like we're back to Dublin, and now you
Yeah.
start working again here. So you went from these 4 years that you've been in Cayman Island and came back. Do you see that it's something it's trending? What is the main difference nowadays on your day-to-day work that you see that there was something that was like high look before and now it's not much in demand anymore? So like what is the current trends that you're seeing, like rising, and the difference between the when you depart Ireland and
Yeah.
now when you came back?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, there's definitely an awful lot more JavaScript
Yes.
frameworks.
All
I'm
right.
seeing there's so many different languages now that I'm dealing with. But
Right.
yeah, like that would be like definitely technology changes, obviously. Like it's always moving forward. That definitely would be one thing. But I suppose like even in terms of the markets that are recruiting at the moment, that has probably changed a little bit, and even has changed and evolved over the last 3 or 4 years. Because you would have seen a lot of like software product companies and things that were hiring, and obviously Ireland went through such a big tech boom over the last few years. Whereas now I think that maybe has settled off a small bit, and we're seeing a lot of recruitment within like the insurance, reinsurance, those type of industries, which maybe I wouldn't have been as busy there like 4 or 5 years ago that I would have seen. So there's definitely changes there, and then also in the types of candidates, like it's definitely very, very diverse industry now, maybe even more so than it was a few years ago. Companies are happy, like, even bringing candidates over from, overseas, things like that. Like, if there are candidates there, and obviously like there are your work permit restrictions and visa restrictions and things, but definitely like there's an appetite there that companies are happy to take people, with good solid skill sets. So they're definitely like there are changes, like there's a lot of similarities as well, lots of the same faces,
Yeah.
but things have evolved, I think, over the last few years in terms of technologies and things that companies are using and that side of things. So yeah, certainly like there's always things to kind of get used to again.
Yeah, it's true, Yeah. So
Mhm.
and well, through the last years, like for the last 7 to 8 years,
Yeah.
Ireland has become like we talked before. There has become this place where a lot of people from outside Ireland came over
Mhm.
and started working in tech, and
Yeah.
Ireland was attracting a lot of like tech talents to the country.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of the things that I I feel like the companies were struggling were to fill job positions, right? Today
Yeah.
it's a little bit, but I believe that the struggle is still truth and it's still the same problem. So
Mhm.
you that work on this part that you have to attract the talents, you have to source the talents, you have to
Yeah.
attract them. And sometimes you see that the talents in Ireland they're not enough like to reach out,
Mhm.
and you have to reach out
Yeah.
all the communities. So how
Yeah.
do you how can ask that? How is the way that you find the best, like the strategies that you use to attract international talents
Mhm.
to apply for jobs in Ireland and apply for a new position here?
Yeah, well, without giving away all my
Yeah,
secrets
I can't.
now,
Yeah, don't give a secret sauce now.
all the secrets. But no, definitely. And I think I learned a lot from Cayman for that because we had to actually, like, there was a huge amount of, it wasn't known as the technology hub. So there
Hmm.
was a huge amount required in terms of actually getting candidates interested in Cayman and bringing people over. So
Hmm.
I think bringing that back to Ireland has been super, super relevant. And like
Hmm.
a large proportion of that would be actually getting the name out there as no matter where it is you're recruiting for. So at the moment, it's just kind of getting Dublin. Like Dublin is known already as a tech hub,
Hmm.
but certainly, there would be some kind of preconceptions, I suppose, in the market there among certain candidates from certain countries that maybe it's very expensive or that it's difficult to get over, different things like that. So it's really just getting the word out there of, where the needs are within IT
Hmm.
and, kind of getting that across to candidates. So like a large proportion for us would be actually reaching out to candidates, like headhunting candidates from different jurisdictions, letting them know what the process is like, just kind of being very upfront with people
Hmm.
and letting them know, what's involved in actually making a move. So that is a big thing, I think, is actually kind of getting the word out there to candidates that it
Hmm.
is a place that, there are lots of tech jobs. It hasn't necessarily slowed down too much. Like there
Hmm.
still is a need for strong, especially within the software engineering space, there's still a need for
Hmm.
strong talent there. So that's a big thing. And
Yeah.
then, just events, things like that, like anything that will bring Ireland to the fore in terms of like software engineering roles that people know that there's a need out there.
Hmm. Yeah. And then have you seen any other market right now? Because you work for Morgan McKinney, and Morgan McKinney is an
Yes,
international
I
recruitment
do.
company. And
Yes, yeah.
you see nowadays there is any other country in Europe that actually are better, not better, but like there is more traction towards hiring right now? Or you feel Ireland's still in the forefront of hiring on the tech space at the moment?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I think that Ireland is still very much on the forefront, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have a lot of things going for us in terms of the tech industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still like, whilst what you see in the media is that there hasn't, there's a lot of layoffs and things like that, unfortunately. But at the same time, there are lots of companies there who are hiring. So
Mm.
I think it still remains kind of fairly front and center within European locations. You are seeing certain candidates, like the likes of the Netherlands and things like that, are doing lots of good stuff within IT as well.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly there are some candidates going to jurisdictions like that. And then, like if you look outside of Europe, there's definitely a lot of hiring in certain places as well.
Yeah.
But for a lot of candidates, like European candidates especially, like Ireland does remain very much as a vibrant place, and like as a location in itself, it's a very attractive option for a lot of people to
Mm.
relocate to.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going anywhere in terms of tech opportunities, and I think there's still a big appetite, a very strong appetite out there. within the tech community to kind of move to Ireland and continue to grow it as a tech hub as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it is still very, very strong in terms of, especially among its kind of European counterparts anyway.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And well, one of the things that I saw recently, right? I run
Yeah,
this group called IT in Dublin, and
yeah,
recently one of the most shift and changes that I saw from Brazilians, they're coming to Ireland and they're looking for a new job. Is most of
yeah.
them they didn't resign for the job position back in Brazil. They are able to
Hmm.
work from home here in
Yeah,
Ireland while they're looking for a
which
new
is
job.
great.
It's
Yeah,
amazing. It's amazing.
yeah, yeah.
And one of the most thing that I think that's a shift now is that non-Europeans like Brazilians, they now they'll be able to work from home while they're looking for a new job and get
Hmm.
their visa. Is that now they don't need anymore to accept any job offer. So
Yeah,
they're not accepting like just a job offer to get the visa. Sometimes
yeah,
they do, but most of the time they don't, and
yeah,
they are pursuing a better pay. So
yeah.
yeah, and but then one of the things that we see now is a lot of companies they not accepting, not giving much of the job offer, because like Brazilians
Hmm.
should be such a powerful talent for a
Yeah,
low value, so it's a very good return on
yeah.
investment.
They were
So
spoiled
yeah,
before.
exactly. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I don't know if you have this before, you understand, you
Hmm.
see now, like when you see a non-European apply for a job position, if they are in a
Yeah,
better position now, they can actually negotiate a better salary.
yeah,
So I don't know if you saw this before, and
yeah, yeah.
then if this leads to another question now, because your objective is to fulfill the desire of both sides, right? You
Yes,
wanted the company to
definitely.
be happy with the guy they
Hmm.
hiring, and you wanted the
Yeah,
person to be happy where they're going to work, right?
yeah, definitely.
But then there is a lot of support I believe you guys doing in a way
Hmm.
that to get these people like satisfy what on what they do. So
Yeah.
what is like for you the main efforts a recruiter have to do can do
Hmm.
to support the candidate and they and like in a cultural integration, because they come from different country, and
Yeah.
like and yeah, so like and like dealing with relocation and all this stuff, like do you have any like how can I say, secret sauce for that?
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, like, and it's something that like I love doing it, to be honest,
All
like
right.
helping people with the international relocation, because like you're not only just changing somebody's like getting them a new job, but you're
Mm-hmm.
also like it's a whole new world for somebody,
Exactly. Yeah.
like to integrate somewhere new. So like as a recruiter, it is definitely something that we put a lot of focus onto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because like you want a candidate to be happy, not just in their, in their role. You want them to stay in there long term. Like I don't
Yeah.
just place somebody just for the sake of a couple of months or whatever. Like it has to be kind of have a bit of longevity there.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely is something that we try to focus on. And like it would be a case of, it's a very much case by case basis actually, like
I
depending on the
see.
candidate and what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it will be kind of helping them, like even somewhere like yourselves, like, if there's a specific, if they're interested in meetup groups, things like that,
Mm.
just introducing them to different people.
Yeah.
Because like we'll have a fairly like a strong network there of different contacts that we would know would run different events and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So just kind of getting people integrated into the community, into the tech community in Dublin, like that is definitely something like that a recruiter can help with. And
Mm-hmm.
then also like, just kind of in terms of actual different, like finding, like recommending places to find housing, things like that. Like
Mm.
we're very much, as or if somebody comes to us looking for a job in Dublin, for example, and they are looking to relocate, maybe they have their EU passport or whatever to make it a
Mm-hmm.
little bit easier to secure something. Like, we'd be more than happy to kind of, it's a whole process there. So it's not just necessarily on the job, but also in kind of the tech industry as a whole, and can kind of offer advice on that.
Mm.
And like I think I'd say when I was over in Cayman, about like 75% of my roles were actually international relocations. So it's
Oh.
something, very familiar with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see. I
yeah,
see. Interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. We actually brought some Brazilians over as well. So it's
Oh,
like from
nice.
right across. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot of Brazilians they're going to other countries right now. I have
Yeah.
two friends of mine. They moved to Malta, for example,
Oh,
and
amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's very important to know, like for anyone that looking job in Europe, that
Yeah.
you have these tech hubs. You have
Yeah.
Berlin, you have Dublin, you have Netherlands, not
Yeah.
Amsterdam, sorry.
Amsterdam. Yeah. Yeah.
But then you have other countries. You have there
Hmm.
is technological
Yeah.
jobs in almost every country in Europe, and they
Hmm.
offer almost the same base rules and regulations towards
Hmm.
you to migrate. So if you're
Yeah.
looking for a job in Ireland and it's difficult, you might have to consider other countries as well. I saw a
Yeah.
lot of friends of mine, they moved to Amsterdam because they saw a good job position there, and
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
have all these regulations that they're saying, so they already know, they already see how it's done, so they
Hmm.
could move there. So you can.
Yeah. There's a lot of options.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
you can thrive not only one place, you can thrive in different
Hmm.
places. And
That's it. Yeah.
yeah, and have this ability to understand when to move and how to
Hmm.
move to another country is very
Yeah.
important, and it opens,
Definitely.
yeah, it opens your perspective.
Yeah, well, 100%. Like
Yeah.
it really is. It's such a nice opportunity to like live and work somewhere new.
Mm.
Like, it really broadens your mind and gives you the opportunity to get integrated into a new culture. Like
Yeah.
it's incredible. Like it really is. So like that's, yeah, 100%. Like if there's any candidates there who would like to, even explore options, like it's all about just kind of seeing what's out there and
Hmm.
kind of knowing the contacts and reaching out to the correct people. So it's definitely something that, can be incredible for somebody's career.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
so like the I'd like to see, like, how do you see the future of of tech work even in Ireland and in other
Mhm.
countries in the EU? Like, you guys, you deal like with these numbers every day, so you see like trending, you seeing what's going on. So how do you
Mhm.
see the future of tech work? Like, what's gonna be for you on your perspective?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll try our
This
best,
is
but
more opinion because we can't
yeah.
predict the future, but yeah.
Definitely, definitely. But no, it's definitely positive. Like, it seems to be like technology is still going very strong in Ireland at the moment.
Hmm.
Like I recruit a lot of kind of senior level, it's all like .NET and Java positions really.
Hmm.
And like, there's a lot of companies like they're using like .NET Core, good technology stacks. Moving towards cloud-based technologies quite a bit, you would see. So
Hmm.
like kind of more of a DevOps is kind of style that's kind of coming in a little bit more.
Hmm.
But definitely, like, there is like kind of your AI technologies and things like that as well. They're going to take all our jobs, but no, no. But yeah, you are seeing like there's a good mix there, like which is actually quite nice. But it seems to be like, there's still a strong appetite in Dublin for IT, and like,
Hmm.
the tech, it's still growing. Like,
Hmm.
we're going to the tech summit now next week, and it looks like
Oh
it's going to
yeah.
be an incredible event. Like, so
Hmm.
it's really exciting to see kind of what the next best thing is within
All right.
technology because it's always changing.
Yeah. So like that we're gonna have this Dublin Tech Expo
Yeah.
next week. What do you wanted to see that, and what are you expecting from this tech summit?
Yeah, well, I've actually never been to it before.
Really?
No, never
All
been to it,
right.
so I'm really excited
Mm-hmm.
to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just more so just kind of speaking with people within the tech industry there and
Mm-hmm.
seeing kind of even what their perspectives are,
All right.
because I think that's how you really get to know like your market within recruitment very, very well, is kind of chatting to people on the ground and kind of see what they want, what they don't want, like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and actually just learning about the industry a little bit more. So yeah, really exciting to get to chat to some people and just even just to see, and hear about new trends within IT. It's
All
going to
right.
be yeah. Are you going to it yourself?
Yeah, I'm going next week. I don't know. I think I'm
Brilliant.
gonna stay there just one day, and
Okay.
I really wanted to reach out to other companies there. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to actually invite some of them to do the podcast as well. So I think
Nice.
that'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see their perspective over
Yeah.
work and tech work in Ireland and in
Definitely.
other countries overall, because
Yeah.
I know that these other companies they're going there. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Great for
interesting.
networking.
It's great for networking. Exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. I wanted to see what they're gonna talk about these trendy
Mm-hmm.
technologies, and or I always like skeptical sometimes because sometimes they they can be over hyped over technology or over
Yeah.
a new thing, or it can be over skeptical about some
Yes.
technology. So they can be either
Yeah.
high, and of course AI is going to be on the topics there. We're going to see a lot of AI companies. That's normal.
Yeah.
Even though most of them they're not. in
Yeah.
my
They all
opinion.
say it in name.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's all branding, but then it is what it is. It is what the market is demanding right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Definitely. It should be
uh,
exciting though.
yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I think it
Yeah.
will. And even though you can see a lot of things that you think that's BS, I think that you can have some good takeaways from it.
Yes. Definitely. There's always good learning. You're always going to meet
Exactly.
somebody
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I think the experience is the way that you perceive things. So if you
Yeah.
perceive as a bad thing, you're gonna say that's a bad experience. But
Yeah.
if you go with an open mind, then
Yeah.
you're gonna be a good experience.
It's really important. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, definitely.
definitely.
And it's great that things like that are on and available for people as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I went to the next topic, do you have any questions
Mhm.
for me?
I don't think so.
All right.
I suppose, like for yourself, like what would you see? Like just to flip that question back onto
Mm-hmm.
you, what would you see as kind of the next kind of big thing within tech, or the thing that's the
Hmm.
most, up and coming?
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of people, and I'm trying to figure out that yet, because it's hard to
Yeah.
make predictions, and it's hard
Mm-hmm.
to say exactly what's going to be the next big thing, because
Yeah.
the last big thing it was AI, because of the likes of
Yeah.
ChatGPT came over, and then you have all of these new companies coming and say they're going to invest, and they presenting similar solutions that
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT does. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like now uh, one of the nicest thing that happened into like front end development and the full stack development were these new frameworks that is it is said
Yeah.
before, that these
Yeah.
frameworks
Yeah.
help
Hundreds
you.
of them.
Exactly, they help you
Yeah.
to do experimentation and
Mm-hmm.
go and develop it faster. So I don't see AI playing this out at the moment,
Yeah.
because we already have in the past, in the last few years, some
Yeah.
AI technology that actually helps us to develop technologies, develop new
Mm-hmm.
websites, new platforms.
Yeah.
But then it kind of got stuck a little bit. So I feel like this is gonna be the next traction now on
Yeah.
the tech perspective, where we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of new tools coming over that actually gonna work for us. And so it's gonna be
Yes.
something under the hood that not gonna be for general public. It's gonna be more
Yeah.
for developers that they're gonna be very
Mm-hmm.
specific. That's what I am. I wanted this to happen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
It'll make
even
your
like it's
life
a
easier.
prediction. Yeah, it's something
Yeah.
that actually is a demand, I believe, and it's not just mine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's for a lot of my fellow developers. They're
Yeah.
feeling the same.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'll definitely be very useful for you if there was something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like that in a couple months now we're gonna see popping up like different types of job positions now.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're gonna have like an AI front end engineer or AI
Yeah.
back end engineer, something like that. That
Yeah.
you have to integrate now these models within your stack. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the appetite is there though among developers to
Mm-hmm.
like learn more about AI and get involved in that
Mm-hmm.
space. So I think it would be very popular if there was roles came up within that area. People would be interested
Yeah.
in getting into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Let's see what's
Yeah. You've
gonna
got your
happen.
fingers crossed
Yeah,
anyway.
finger crosses.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So I always like to do a philosophical question to
Okay.
everyone that
Yeah.
I talk to, and but this one I got a quote from one of the like this guy. He was like a normal scientist, and his name is Albert Einstein. It's like just
Uh-huh.
a
Might have
normal
heard of
guy.
him.
He's just a
Yeah.
normal guy.
Yeah.
But then he had I got a quote from him that is it's like this: it's strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. So this is resonating me a lot, because one of the things that why I'm doing this podcast is like search of what is the value of work, what make
Yeah.
works valuable for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so then this raised a lot of questions. So like the work can be good for society progress. It
Yeah.
can be for life fulfillment, pursuit of
Mm-hmm.
meaning, personal, professional lives. So,
Mm-hmm.
what would be for you, like, what are your takeaway on this quote, and what would be for you the value of work?
That is a lovely question now. I really like that. It's a lovely quote as well.
Yes.
Um, I suppose like it's seeing the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, for myself, like as a recruiter, you could just say you're just calling candidates every day, but it's really way more than that. And
Mm-hmm.
when you get to meet the people, I suppose, and see them through a whole process, like you only move jobs maybe 4 or 5 times in your career for the most people. It's
Mm-hmm.
not doesn't happen very often, and it's a huge thing for people. So I think being part of that process for somebody is a huge thing, and I would get like a lot of fulfillment from doing that and helping somebody along. It's not just a job move, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole kind of life change for somebody, and looking at it as an overall, like then at seeing the value of it from that perspective.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, like you're helping somebody in their lives, and I think that's a huge thing, and that's how I like to see it. To get
Mm.
that whole overall where I'm getting kind of fulfillment from on that side, if that kind of makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes totally
Yeah,
sense. Even
yeah,
because, like, when I started Higher Brain, that's my project,
hmm,
and
yeah,
one of the things for me was like how do we get this person to be more visible for
yeah,
recruiters and for companies,
hmm, yeah,
because one of the main problems nowadays, and I think I know
hmm,
you know it, but like 80% of the people that are applying for jobs, they not even get considered when the
yeah.
company look at CVs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the
That's really hard for somebody,
exactly,
not to even get acknowledged, I think
yeah.
is quite unfortunate. And it is difficult for people when
Mm-hmm.
you keep trying, like it is
Yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah, and then it came to these problems, like I remember myself when I was
Hmm.
applying for jobs in Ireland and trying to get
Yeah.
my first job offer. I went through a
Hmm.
lot of calls, a lot of
Yeah.
personal interviews, and a lot of no's and a lot of
Yeah.
ghosting as well.
Hmm.
And this for me was my point of extra stress
Yeah.
when I was looking for job in Ireland, and that's why
Yeah.
I created this project, because one of the things you have to do first is understand why that happened,
Yeah.
and see, like, understand the patterns of like the ones that has been chosen to do interview
Hmm.
and other stuff,
Yeah.
and look at the other person and say, look, I feel like that you're not being highlighting your skills the
Yeah.
way that would be the best for you to be more visible, and that is all the other stuff as well, to understand as well, when trying to understand when a person wants to move from a job to another too.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
that's for me give me very nice excitement, because
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of people, a lot of individuals, they are very happy when they see the results and they see the feedback
Yeah.
coming,
Hmm.
and that for me is very nice, because
Yeah.
I went through this process of thing, and then for
Hmm.
me it's nice when people just, they don't need to go through that path, they just like
Yeah.
get the right
To get
path
the good result.
before I get to the pain part.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And I think it's kind of, as a person, it is very difficult, and it can be like those knocks can come hard.
Hmm.
Like, so it's very much, I think, as a recruiter or as a hiring manager, it's just remembering the human aspect of things, I think is really
Mm.
important.
Yeah.
And just treating everybody with like the respect that you would want to receive if you were going through that
Yeah.
process, like just with an acknowledgement, just, let people know what the story is, where they are in processes. And I think
Exactly.
it's really nice what you're doing. Like you have went through that process and you're trying to make it better for other people.
Hmm.
It's really, really nice to hear, because it can be difficult for people, and
Yeah.
it's just, if somebody comes to me and if they don't, if they're going coming from overseas, like it's just about being honest with people and upfront, and let them know maybe if they're going to expect those difficulties, like how long it's going to take them to find something, or vice versa, if they're already in Ireland and they have a really good profile, just being supportive and letting them know, managing their expectations really is a big thing, so people are
Mm.
kind of, know where they're going to be at.
Hmm.
It's it's easy. I know everyone's busy, but it doesn't take too long to do it,
It's
and
true.
it's just a matter of being organized and kind of saying that's your principle, that you're going to always give feedback and just kind of be
Yeah.
honest with people.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Was a pleasure to talk to you.
You too. Yes. Thank you
Yes,
so much, Lucas.
thank you. Do you wanted to mention anything like I don't know, show your credentials, like where to reach out to you if someone wants to talk to you about your position in Dublin or any other
Yeah.
locations? Yeah, can far away.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Well, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or pop me over an email.
Hmm.
It's cmurray@morganmckinley.com.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm always open and always interested in chatting with software engineers who are interested in moving to Dublin, or maybe who are already in Dublin. Very, very open and honest. And I'll kind of give you feedback and let you know if it's likely I can help you. And if I can, I will. And if I can't, I'll let you know as well. So yeah, no, would really appreciate if anyone would like to reach out. More than happy to do so.
All right.
And yeah, thank you very much, Lucas.
Cheers. Thank
And
you.
hopefully see you
Thank
next
you.
week at the Tech Summit.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Hopefully we do. We meet there, or maybe if we don't, we're gonna meet on the other meetup as well.
Exactly. Yes, yes. Really
Yeah.
looking forward to that.